This job has completely turned my life around. It has turned everything, my living conditions, my working conditions, everything has been turned around. So I want to thank God for what He has done in my life.
There are many of us who have found ourselves imprisoned unknowingly. I say right now, be released from that jail. Be released from that jail. Be released in the name of Jesus Christ. That prison door be opened right now. Be opened in your health. Be opened in your career. Be opened in your family. Be opened in your finances. That prison door be opened.
My name is Julia. I'm from the United Arab Emirates. I want to thank God for what He has done in my life. For more than 8 years, I've been suffering from headaches, sleepless nights, and bleeding. These headaches, they affected me so much to the extent that all the time I have to be taking medicine. Whenever I take painkillers or Panadol, whenever they stop working in my body, I have to take some more. So it's like all the time I had to keep some medicine with me, either in my bag or in my house. When it comes to sleeping, I had very difficulties in sleeping. Sometimes I can sleep maybe around 10 o'clock. I'll wake up around 12. That will be that for that night. I'll spend the whole night awake. If I happen to wake up, it will be difficult for me to go back to sleep. So this would affect my activities the following day. And also I had the problem of bleeding. Whenever I'm having my monthly cycle, I would bleed until even myself, I would feel like my blood is finished in me. Sometimes I would go to the doctors, they would recommend blood transfusion. So this issue of bleeding also affected my life so much because all the time I would feel weak, I would feel tired, and I could not perform my duties at work, even at home, the way I'm supposed to. When I came to UAE, it was very difficult for me to get a good job. I struggled. I just got one job that I said, I will just take this one for me to get visa. But otherwise, the working conditions were not good. The living conditions were everything. There was completely nothing to write home about. I struggled. I suffered with that job. I tried to apply for other jobs all the time. Every time that I get free time, I'll be applying for jobs. I think I applied thousands of jobs. Any job that I came across that I would think this one I can do, I would apply. But all to no avail. So because of these difficulties, I came across Brother Chris in June 2023. So when I joined the interactive prayer with him in June 2023, on that particular day when the prayer was going on, I felt my body shaking. It was vibrating seriously. I couldn't control myself. After the prayer, when I slept that very night, the first thing that I discovered was that I slept the whole night, no disturbances, no waking up, no nothing. I slept like a baby. That's when I realized that God had intervened into my issues. And then after some time, after a few days, I also realized that the headaches had gone. Even for those days after the prayer, I did not take the medicine for headaches. That's when I realized that for some days I have not taken these tablets. So I realized God had healed me from the migraine that I used to have. I also noticed that the bleeding completely stopped. From that time, that was June 2023, until now, I sleep very well. Even I have to set alarm for me to wake up in the morning. So I want to thank God for what He has done in my life. When it comes to the job, like I said, I tried by all means, by all my power. Sometimes even I had to pay some agencies so that maybe I can get the jobs, but all to no avail. But I thank God. First of all, in September, I think it was 7 September 2024, which is last year, I also joined the prayer interaction service with Brother Chris. So 3 days after that one, for 7 September, I had a dream. In my dream, I was in my village with my parents. So there was a stem of a tree in our backyard, which is like a human height. That stem was showing that there had been a very big tree, but the leaves had been cut and the stem was drying up. So I used to go and check that stem to see if it has dried up completely so that I can use it for firewood. So on one particular day, that was in the dream, I went to check. I found it had dried, but it was still firm in the ground. So I went to tell my parents that I checked this stem. It's dried, but it's still firm in the ground. Immediately, I mentioned that the stem fell by itself. And when it fell, it turned into a horse. The horse was very furious, very, very furious, and it started running in front of us, up and down, and no one had the guts to do anything about it. So from nowhere, I just got the courage and commanded it. I said, in the name of Jesus Christ, I command you to stop. To my surprise, it heard the command and it reduced its speed. So when I realized that, it's listening to this command, I commanded it again. Again, it reduced speed. I commanded it third time. Immediately I commanded it third time, it stopped. It fell and then it died. So for me, that was a dream of victory, and I thank God. So I continued joining the interactive prayers. Then this year, in January, there was a job that was advertised in the company that I'm working for. I said, like someone who had been applying for more than 10 years and nothing was coming up. If I apply and they happen to call me for interviews, something very bad will happen in that interview until they don't give me the job. So when this job came up, I said, let me just apply. I applied like all the other times. But behold, this time with the intervention of God, it was completely different. 3 weeks after I applied, behold, I checked my email. I saw there was invitation for interviews. I said, wow, this is the hand of God. I did the interviews. They went on well. So there was like 2 interviews, one for one-on-one, though it was online. And then the second one was for computers to show that I know how to use computers. I did the one-on-one and it went on well. I finished. So when it came to the one for computers, there were 4 questions. I did the first question, I saved. I did the second question, I saved my work. And then the third question and the fourth question, because I was running out of time, I did very well. I finished, but I forgot to save. So it was as good as someone who had not done the last 2 questions. Then I sent my work like that. So something kept telling me that I think something is wrong with those documents that I sent. Let me check again my sent items. When I checked, I realized that, oh my God, I had not saved 2 questions, which means I had not answered 2 questions. So I was like, oh, again, I'm going to lose this job. Anyway, I kept praying. I kept believing in God. After some time, like 2 weeks again, behold, people of God, I saw an email in my inbox saying that they had given me the job. And this job that I'm talking about is not the kind of job that I was praying for. It tripled the kind of jobs that I was applying for all along. And what showed that this was the hand of God is, according to their statistics, more than 700 people applied for that job. And they shortlisted like 30-something people. So with me not answering 2 questions from their 4 questions for the computers, people of God, they told me that I was among the top 5 of the best applicants of that job. So I said, this is not my power, this is not my ability. It's only the grace of God, it's only the finger of God. God wanted to show me that If he is involved, it doesn't matter who else is involved. Nothing matters at all. So I just wanted to take this time to thank God for what he has done in my life, because this job has completely turned my life around. It has turned everything, my living conditions, my working conditions, everything has been turned around. So I want to thank God for what he has done in my life. My encouragement is, when it is God's time, everything will be beautiful. He will do it his own way, and he will multiply it more than we expect it. So we should be patient enough to wait for God's time. That is my word of encouragement.